that, maybe with an Incineroar Ogerpon lead, or any fire type really in the lead. Make sure that you can move faster than the Golden Go, get that early knockout, and then let Fluttermane clean up.
All right, the excitement's about to get started here in top 8 of the Toronto Regional Championships. Eric Stuart with Fluttermane Tornadus on the top of your screen. Regidrago Ogerpon Hearthflame on the bottom of your screen for Justin Tang.
So not a lot of pressure here for Eric to set up the Tailwind that first turn, as Fluttermane should be the fastest Pokemon on the field. And I think this is a great opportunity for Eric, honestly, to consider going straight for a Bleak Wind Storm here. You don't really want to go for Sunny Day, as you're just going to be boosting the firepower of the opposing Ogerpon. And honestly, this Ogerpon is very incentivized to go on the offense here, as that should be a pretty clean KO into the opposing Tornadus if you land that Ivy Cudgel. And once you get that Tornadus out of the way, we do have the benefit of seeing Justin's back party, and we know that he can match that speed control.
And you talked about how great Regidrago looked as a lead in this matchup. It did come onto the field, but as Eric swaps his Fluttermane into the Incineroar to intimidate Ogerpon Hearthflame, we also saw Justin deciding to swap out the Regidrago, so wants to save that potentially for later on in the matchup. And of course, when there wasn't a fairy type on the field, because Fluttermane wouldn't take any damage from those dragon attacks. They're both making one switch, and then we're going for the Terastallization. Ogerpon Hearthflame negating Incineroar's Intimidate, the body aspect ability, increasing Hearthflame's attack by 1 stage, so it goes back to neutral, is now a pure fire type as well, so resisting a Flare Blitz on the other end. Eric doesn't even go for a Tailwind, just wants to stay safe with a Protect. So the only damage this turn is from Justin's Hot Ivy Cudgel into the resisted Incineroar.
Both trainers playing it super safe that turn, and I really love that switch from Justin, as he was preventing the possibility of a Power Gem, not going for the Follow Me, they're just going straight on the offense, just not having to worry about that Fluttermane going on the offense there. So overall, worked out very well for him. I think he's in a decent position. Still has to worry about the opportunity of that Incineroar flinching the Ogerpon this turn, but it can always go for a Spiky Shield and just avoid damage here. The Golden Go, on the other hand, it is holding Choice Spec, so it will be dealing damage this turn, assuming it can move.
Tornadus with the Tailwind now secured for Eric, doubling his team's speed for the next 4 turns, and that means Incineroar is faster than Golden Go, but it's not enough for a one-hit KO. Golden Go barely hanging on in the red. Now Ogerpon gets a chance to respond. Ivy Cudgel into Torn. Is there a crit? No, looks like Tornadus is able to hang on, making the Make It Rain still a spread attack, lowering the special attack, but finally Tornadus is knocked out, but that might be good news for Eric.
But I think what's key here is the fact that the Golden Go's attack was still a spread attack, meant that the Tornadus could hold on, or the Incineroar could hold on that turn. So the Incineroar will have one opportunity now to move first. We saw it is the fastest Pokemon on the field, and it can now pivot out either via U-turn or a hard switch to come back and intimidate again. And while it does appear that the Ogerpon, it hasn't taken any damage, so it probably won't switch out this turn. It's not necessarily threatened by the Incineroar and the Fluttermane. It is nice to consider saving that fake out for later on when you know the Regidrago could make another appearance.
Right, you have to be aware of not just what the 2 threats on Justin's end of the field are, but also that Regidrago in the back. And is it worth, I understand Incineroar is low HP, but the value that an Intimidate and the value that a Fake Out in a future turn could provide could be massive. But the Power Gem from Fluttermane brings Ogerpon down very low. Follow-up does not go towards Ogerpon. Instead, it's into the Golden Go. It does 9 damage, doesn't pick up a KO, meaning that whatever Incineroar is, or whatever Eric is switching into the Incineroar slot, I should say, which is revealing his own Ogerpon Hearthflame, is going to take some damage here from this -1 on the Make It Rain from Golden Go. But first has to be Ogerpon's Ivy Cudgel. This is a neutral hit, but he gets the crit this time. Didn't get it against Tornadus, and it's way better into Fluttermane.
Now Golden Go with the single target Make It Rain, it's gonna be resisted by the Ogerpon, so that's good. You're not gonna be doing as much damage there, but that U-turn into the Golden Go, just not quite the damage you want out of that turn. You can come back now and re-intimidate the opposing Ogerpon, which you know, will help this go around, but it's also at such low health, you have to wonder if that U-turn would have been better targeted into the Ogerpon for a potential KO.
It's almost as if Justin is content right now just clicking the attacks
Yep.
with these 2 low health Pokemon for as long as they stay on the field.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
and then you move on to, you're not really gonna, he's not gonna flex around the low health Golden Go or anything like that. Tailwind is making Eric faster anyway,
Yep.
so don't waste any of your other Pokemon's HP.
not only that, Regidrago is better off coming in later on because Dragon Energy does damage based off of how full your health bar is.
Right, so now Eric will say, hey, this Ogerpon Heart Flame seems to do a lot of damage when it's terrestrialized. I think I will match. This is now a +1 attack since it has not had its attack lowered, meaning Ivy Cutters are going to be doing even more damage on Eric's side of the field. But does the Ivy Cutter go into Spiky Shield? Yes, Justin makes that call, keeping his Ogerpon healthy there. Knockoff finally takes down this pesky Golden Go.
Golden Go did its job really well this match with those Make It Rains, and now it's getting out of the way, and Justin has a great choice to make here. You either send in the Regidrago, who enters the field at full health, ready to go on full offense against the opposing Pokemon once the Tailwind has expired, or you could have sent in your own Tornadus if you wanted to try and match the Tailwinds after the Tailwind expired.
And now Justin has not revealed that 4th Pokemon yet. We do have the low health Ogerpon, but at some point, you know when Ogerpon goes down,
Yep.
you'll have more help in the back. And this should be the last turn of Tailwind, right?
Yep.
So even with Eric's attack boost in the Ogerpon Hearthflame, it's still going to be tough to get the attacks off in general.
Yeah, and trying to keep the Ogerpon safe here for one more turn just ensures that the Regidrago is absolutely safe. I mean, you know, Protect, you're not going to be taking any damage regardless, but we could have potentially seen a Follow Me plus a Dragon Energy this turn too. So just keeping every single option open so that when the Dragon Energy happens, it's going to be at full health.
Ogerpon Hearthflame finally getting knocked out on Justin's end, but it did a great job here in Game 1. Knockoff goes to the Regidrago Protect, so now Justin is down to his last 2 Pokemon as Tailwind expires. We're back to our neutral speed here, meaning Ogerpon Hearthflame should be the fastest Pokemon until Tornadus clicks Tailwind.
Exactly, and I just want to call out how Justin approached this matchup, as we're probably on the last turn at this point in time. He was able to keep that Tornadus in the back of his party until the final turn, whereas Eric started the game off with his own Tornadus and with his own Tailwind, and the fact that Eric approached the game with so many passive turns with the Ogerpon and the Golden Go stuck on the field really opened up the opportunity for Justin for this.
And there's the double knockout. Justin winning Game 1 here. You really highlighted how strong Regidrago was as a Pokemon, but also specifically in this matchup. And even though it waited till the last turn, it proved why the whole game revolved around Regidrago.
Exactly. I mean, Eric was just pinned from turn number 1. You have to bring the Fluttermane, as that's your best answer to that Pokemon. You have to keep the Fluttermane safe because that's your best answer to that Pokemon. But then Fluttermane was in this tough spot where it had to contend with the Golden Go. It had to lock into Power Gem so it could take down the Ogerpon. And it just never found the alignment that it needed to pressure the Regidrago with the super effective damage.
As we take a look at these replays, we see how much damage the neutral Ivy Cudgel did into Tornadus, and we talked about because it wasn't, or still a spread attack, did less into the Incineroar, but the critical hit into Fluttermane, absolutely massive. That's really what you're going for, though. When you're clicking Ivy Cudgel multiple turns in a row, eventually you're going to get that crit.
Exactly, and that's the unfortunate thing too about Eric keeping those Pokemon around for so many turns, is that you're opening yourself up to more random chance. So going into this game number 2, I don't think that Eric can necessarily make a Pokemon adjustment here. I think that Farigiraf is going to be knocked out very easily by the Pokemon on Justin's side of the field, so Trick Room's kind of not an option here, but I think you just have to find a way to get the Pokemon off the field faster and not give Justin all of those opportunities for those critical hits.
And I do like the idea of potentially leading your own Ogerpon Hearthflame to try to redirect some things around, but we'll see what happens here in this game 2. Justin leading Ogerpon Hearthflame and Regidrago yet again versus Eric's Tornadus and Incineroar. You can't, this is not a situation where you can just freely fake out, right? Because remember, Justin has Terra Ghost on Regidrago.
Yes, but on the other hand, though, your Flutter Mane is presumably safe in the back of your party, so you can start whittling away at the Regidrago to weaken its overall attacking power.
Right now, Justin does not have a way to match speed tiers if Eric decides to Tailwind on his Tornadus. Justin will Terrastalize yet again, just like he did in Game 1, bringing Ogerpon's attack back to a neutral state, and a critical hit would be absolutely devastating.
Whoa.
Does not Terra, so Eric makes the call. He will not sacrifice his Terra on the Ghost typing, and now Regidrago does not get to attack this turn. Huge play of momentum for Eric. Ivy Cudgel from the Ogerpon into Tornadus. We saw without a crit, it did not KO last game, but it gets the crit this time!
But that's okay because Tailwind was set up and now Tornadus is gone. So if the Flutter Mane is in the back of Eric's party, this is your best opportunity to send it out and lock into Dazzling Gleam. And then honestly, you can target that Regidrago with a Flare Blitz if the Golden Go comes in.
Right, so you're essentially pinning the right slot on Justin's end. Either Regidrago stays in and eats a fairy attack, or if you wanted to switch Golden Go to resist Moonblast, then you can eat a Flare Blitz.
I mean, Regidrago does know Earth Power, so like, I guess you could try and like, I don't know, do something with that.
But the Incineroar's faster right now because of Tailwind.
Exactly, like you would be reading like 10 levels deep at that point in time, and I don't think Justin's gonna take that risk.
Regidrago does swap out here, expecting a lot of damage going into that slot. It is the Golden Go. Eric has it. He has one game down. He has to make big plays to force a game 3 to get back in this set. Does he make that call? Power Gem into Ogerpon, though, instead doesn't do any damage. It's up to the Incineroar and get some momentum by being able to swap the Incineroar out with U-turn and bring in maybe another attacker that would appreciate the Tailwind more.
Well, there's 2 Fire-type Pokemon on Eric's team, and if you don't land the Flare Blitz into the Golden Go, how about you consider landing a Fire-type Ivy Cudgel?
I love that play from Eric to be able to anticipate your opponent's swap, so you use the U-turn to put your Ogerpon. And remember last game, there's no Intimidate there to stop Eric's Ogerpon from boosting its attack. That Ivy Cudgel is going to be really scary into whatever Pokemon Justin puts in the right slot.
The one downside to this position is that Flutter Mane is going to have to switch out eventually to unlock itself from Power Gem. It is unfortunate that it's choosing now to do so because you'd really want to knock out the opposing Ogerpon first to ensure that you can connect an attack with the opposing Golden Go.
Another Intimidate here as Eric swaps the Incineroar into that slot. Now the Ogerpon Heartflame on Justin's end is -1 attack. Eric is going to Terrastalize Ogerpon yet again and going to be way stronger than Justin's. However, Justin could opt, since his attack has been neutered so much here in this game, could opt for a more supportive way, like redirecting with Follow Me right here. Perfectly timed. Don't want to go for a weak Ivy Cudgel into 2 fire types, so you'll just redirect this Ivy Cudgel away, keep your Golden Go safe, and not even take half of your health in response. Now to make it rain into 2 fire types, that's still pretty solid damage into the Ogerpon at least.
And really risky as well because the Golden Go on Justin's side of the field also has a Power Gem of its own. So it worked out very well for Eric in this turn, but I would have loved to see Eric just swing a little bit harder there, go for the KO on the opposing Ogerpon Heartflame, just to ensure that the Ivy Cudgel hit its mark.
As long as Golden Go stays on the field, though, it's going to continue lowering its special attack. So even if he gets to -2, -3, maybe that is a point where Eric would feel comfortable to bring Flutter Mane back out and not worry about Make It Rain.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's one nice thing about Golden Go's Make It Rain is that, like you said, it's diminishing returns. But at the end of the day, with Justin's 4 Pokemon around, he will have the opportunity to switch it out eventually, unless Eric starts getting knockouts.
Ogerpon swapping out for Justin. We saw him debating between his 2 Pokemon in the back, and instead say, hey, I'm gonna go for a double swap. This is Eric's last turn of Tailwind, so I'm gonna play passively. Maybe he's anticipating Protects or different things there. The fake out into a Pokemon that just swapped in means nothing happens. Where does Ivy Cudgel target down? It's into the Dragon type, so it's not a knockout, and now Justin, just like in Game 1, can click Tailwind and outspeed for the rest of this match.
But unlike in Game 1, Regidrago's best opportunity to go on the offense is either going to be that Earth Power or Draco Meteor, which is not accurate. So it's risky.
And it'd be lowering your special attack. Justin would find himself in the same spot, right? Just like with his Golden Go, the diminishing returns of Quick and Make It Rain or Draco Meteor. So Eric has found a pretty solid spot here in a way to come back his last 3 Pokemon in this matchup. He does not have Tornadus anymore, so is not able to match the speeds. But if these 2 fire types can withstand the damage output that Regidrago is going to bring out this turn, then there is a chance. Earth Power into Ogerpon, no, super effective. Ogerpon goes down.
And now it's just going to be the Incineroar and the Flutter Mane's permanently slower than the Pokemon on just inside of the field, trying to find a way through. Oh, but the U-turn was enough to take Regidrago out.
Different this time around. Last time did 9 damage to a Golden Go. This time for Eric, the U-turn was enough for a knockout. So he does get momentum. He's able to bring the Flutter Mane onto the field safely, as well as regain access to Fake Out next turn when he brings his Incineroar back on.
With Golden Go on the field, though, you have to assume that the Flutter Mane's going to be immediately switched out, though, for that Ogerpon. So that is something that Justin can use to his advantage this turn. I mean, yes, Eric could just make a very big play here, but Justin is so far ahead right now, he can play it safe. You could go for Bleak Wind and make it rain, or maybe even Icy Wind and make it rain, and just hope for the best.
Bleak Wind Storm does connect onto both of Eric's Pokemon. The speed drops don't really matter since Tornadus had already made Golden Go faster thanks to the Tailwind. Knockout onto the Flutter Mane there. Eric down to the Incineroar here. Takes that very well by both resisting and holding its Assault Vest. But what can Incineroar do? Eric is in such a difficult spot. The more damage you do with Flare Blitz means the more recoil you're gonna take. Golden Go goes down, but Incineroar takes so much health, or loses so much health in response to that. It's in the red. Oh, it's so tough for Eric.
Unfortunately for that Incineroar, one more Bleak Wind Storm should be enough to take it out. It can miss, but then you have to wonder at what point will that help you? You know, you can try and do more damage with another one, but that recoil.
It's too much speed. It's too